It's so stupid, it's positively brilliant.
The Brilliant Idiots Podcast.
Yep, Charlamange Tha God.
Andrew Schulz.
We are the Brilliant Idiots, and today's episode of the Brilliant Idiots is brought to you by Squarespace. Turn your great idea into a reality with Squarespace. Squarespace makes it easier than ever to launch your passion project, whether you're showcasing your work or selling products of any kind. With beautiful templates and the ability to customize just about anything, you can easily make a beautiful website yourself. And if you do get stuck, Squarespace's 24/7 award-winning customer support is there to help. Head to squarespace.com/idiot for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use the offer code IDIOT to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Now let's start this show. Schulz,
What's up, baby?
what did you see this week that you found positively brilliant? Or what did you see this week that you thought, what a fucking idiot?
Yo, you know what I think is positively brilliant?
Talk to me.
You might disagree with me on this.
Talk to me.
Canceling the NBA season.
Why?
I think it's a really rare time in history where there's absolutely no distractions. So we are all solely focused on this one event, this one protest, this one fight for rights. And adding anything else into the mix, especially something we care so much about, like sports, and specifically a sport we care so much about, I think you will create a little bit of a distraction, and you'll create a reason for why people maybe should stay home and watch the game instead of, going out to a march or like seeing what's going on in the march, etc. It just creates another news flow. And I think that if I was the NBA players, I would say the only way we're starting the season is if these demands are met, because I think you have a specific time in history where billionaires get to move in and get to change in once you fuck with their money. And there's a billionaire that owns every single NBA team. And that means you have, 32 or something like that, NBA team. There's 32 billionaires out there that will move politicians in whatever way they want to get that season started. So do not start the season without getting something out of it. 35 NBA teams. Mm-hmm. So get something out of it. You got leverage. You got these billionaires begging you to play basketball. You better get something out of that more than just donating money.
That's not a bad take. Smart, very well thought out. I didn't even look at it from that angle. My take on the situation is I don't think the NBA would be a distraction at all. In fact, I think that the NBA would help highlight what's going on out there in the streets even more. Like, and we talk about history and we say, this is a particular moment in history and we got a chance to make real change. The civil rights movement was a particular moment in history. And guess what they were doing during the civil rights movement? Playing motherfucking sports. Like, we act like athlete activism hasn't been a thing forever. We act like protest through sports hasn't been a thing forever. Some of the greatest statements in social justice history have happened via sports, whether it was John Carlos and Tommy Smith during the Olympics when they stood up and put the black fist up, whether it was, what Jim Brown was doing, using his leverage as a celebrity to push change, whether it was Muhammad Ali, whether it was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Like, we all remember that historic picture where it was Jim Brown and Ali and Kareem and all of them together. I forgot what they were doing in that picture, but it was something centered around social justice, if I'm not mistaken, or they were in
Are you
support
talking about the diner pick?
No, it wasn't a diner pick. I forgot. We just had
What
Jalen
about,
Rose
because
on.
there's
He
the
was talking
diner
about
pick that's Sam Cooke, Muhammad Ali, Malcolm
No.
X.
This is all athletes.
Okay.
It's all athletes. It's
I think
Kareem.
we have that
It's
picture in here somewhere.
It's Kareem, Bill Russell, Jim Brown. I think they're all in support of Ali, if I'm not mistaken. Right. I don't remember. But and of course the most recent protest through sports, Colin Kaepernick. Like, so it's like, why? And we think about even with the George Floyd situation, what was one of the main memes that was going around? LeBron James in the I Can't Breathe t-shirt. That was based off Eric Garner. So I'm like, to think that we can't do both in a country is wild to me. Like it's wild.
So I think that's a really good point. And I think it's hard to find any hole in the point. The question I guess I would have is, does doing both pull any attention away? And you could be right. Maybe it doesn't pull any attention away at all. Like, we all have jobs and watch sports, and watching sports doesn't really take away from the job.
And I think we forget that the NBA is a job.
No, 100%.
That's those players' jobs. Like, they got to get back
100%.
to work.
I guess what I would say is this is like, all right, if you want to get back to work, you want to do it, good, do it. But you have the owners by the balls right now. So you might as well get something out of it. If you're
To do
holding someone
what,
by
though?
the balls, get something out of it.
To do what?
You have to ask for a specific goal. I would ask for a specific thing that you want. It doesn't even have to be the thing that's going to cure everything. It could just be a specific thing that you want lobbied, right? And then make sure that comes through. I mean, that's what I would do is you got a little opportunity right here. You know you have it. When you go play, it's not like you're getting paid more money to play. Yeah, they're going to give $500 million or something like that to social justice reform. But like, people have been throwing money at the problem that is civil rights for years. Like every year, there's more millions of dollars thrown and nothing really seems to change. So maybe it's not money.
Give it up, baby. I'll take it, because at the end of the day, you can't change what's in a person's heart. So the only way to really dismantle systemic racism is by acquiring power and by creating your own systems and your own institutions. And you need money to do that.
So then that 500 million maybe shouldn't go to these charities. Like
They should. They should.
Well, that's the other thing that's tricky. Like, and I got to look into it more. But like, someone told me and please correct me because I only just read a little bit about it. But like, someone told me Minnesota Freedom Fund only spent $200,000 bailing people out of the $34 million that they raised. Do you see that?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, I'm not mad at that, only because if they have a fund, then that means that they have employees. You know what I mean? Now they're able to hire more employees. That means that they're able to do more events. That means that they're able to do more things in their community. Like, the more money these grassroots organizations have, the more they can do in our community. So I'm not mad at it. I just don't know what they want an NBA owner to do. Like, the only thing an NBA owner could do is lobby for
move politicians.
Whoever you feel is going to put those policies in place, that legislation in place that's going to change things.
Force them to place legislation, and then it is true. It does say that, right? So force them to change the legislation, and then force them to, you have to have a specific goal. I mean, one of the tricky things about movements that don't have one specific leader is that the goals seem to be lost on the movement. Like, different parts of the movement want different things. And then once people see the movement gaining steam, other people that are part of the movement start going, all right, well, if y'all getting this, I want this. So like, even this week, I think we saw like the Black Trans Lives Matter too pop up. And while yes, they do matter, and I think Black trans lives fits under Black lives, right? But the fact that you're protesting police brutality and Black trans people, as far as I'm concerned, are not being murdered by police. They're just being murdered by civilians. So that issue seems to distract.
I think it was one that got killed by police. I don't know. I know it,
Right.
it definitely was at least one that got killed by a police officer.
Right. I'm not saying that issue isn't valid, and I'm saying that isn't very important, but it does seem to me that like if clear goals and clear like accomplishments aren't stated, then it's very easy for like people to ask for a bunch of different things, and when everybody's asking for their own thing, nothing's going to get done. Does that make sense?
I get it.
So,
I mean, I think everybody just wants the police to stop killing unarmed Black and brown people. That we can agree on. But what I also think everybody wants, and I get it, is they want their stories to have as much light as the next story. Like, it's very hard to walk into a store and you got a product and you see your product not getting no shelf space, baby.
Hey, bro.
Like, that's just a thing. Like, you want more, you want shelf space. So if George Floyd is killed, you want George Floyd, you want Mr. Brooks from Atlanta, you want him to get as much credit. You want the Black trans lives that are getting murdered to get as much attention. Like, you want it all to get equal attention. But I don't think that's a people thing. That's more of a media thing. The media when they got shelf space, when it's one story that's ticking and moving, that's what they go with. That's just the way it is. But that's what social media is for, right? Social media is so you can uplift and empower those other voices. Like, even with Breonna Taylor, I think we spoke about this last week. It's not that people don't care about Breonna Taylor's story. The Breonna Taylor story didn't have a video with it.
Bro, we were saying last week how like people should animate it, and this dude made this like great like image by image version of what happened.
Lord have mercy.
You saw that, and it made it super digestible and like very easy to understand. And like,
I don't want that toon trauma.
say again.
I don't want that cartoon trauma.
Say, oh, why not?
No.
It was just
No, I don't
pictures, though.
It's what?
It was just pictures,
Oh.
but they just
it's-
drew it out.
Yeah,
right?
it's not Disney or anything. It's just like a slideshow of what happened, but it makes it very digestible. So instead of just saying this person's name and then her story gets into like falls into the fold of all the black people who got killed by the police, you give a specific storyline to it, and you're like, oh shit, this is crazy. What happened here? There's no justice at all for this. There's you can't dispute this at all.
I get it.
You know,
I get it. But to the NBA's point, I just don't see I don't see how them playing would distract anything. I really
You're
don't.
missing the point, though.
Taylor's
Charlotte,
passionate about this, bro.
because
Taylor
like,
is a
this-
bad. All Taylor
No.
does is let Twitter think for her. She know there's no
What are you
thoughts of
talking
her
about?
own in your
No,
head.
Charlamagne.
Okay, tell me
At the
why.
end of the day, I told you before, them putting on shirts saying "Don't breathe" or kneeling and then going back to the game
No,
is not solving
it's
the
I
issue.
can't breathe, not don't breathe.
I can't. You know what I'm saying?
Taylor,
Say
Taylor,
what?
you being on this podcast right now isn't solving the issue. Me being on this podcast isn't solving the issue. Andrew being on this podcast isn't solving
Why
the
are you
issue.
comparing the basketball to what we're doing as like that's two different types of work?
Why is it? We get like 300,000 listens a week. Are we distracting 300,000 people from being?
But we're talking about
away
what's
from the
going
movement?
on though. The NBA, they're not talking about what's
Yes,
going
they
on.
can.
It's two different things.
No, that's a lie. They can easily protest through sports. They can wear the t-shirts. They
Yeah,
can
but
talk-
then they go back to playing though.
They can talk about it, and they can talk about it in their post game. And I'm gonna tell you why this is such a half-ass argument. These are the same people saying they want Colin Kaepernick to be back in the league. I was watching First Take today, and they was like, Colin is getting a workout with the Chargers. So you mean to tell me that one of the biggest symbols of social justice, Colin Kaepernick, it's not a distraction for him to be playing again?
No, it is.
Great argument.
I'm not arguing
It's a
that.
great
though.
argument. You got to give it up.
No,
Taylor.
you're right. No, I'm not saying that.
So you don't want
No.
Cap to get a job?
I didn't say that either.
What are you
I'm just
saying?
saying
You gotta pick
I'm
one.
saying what Schulz is saying though. You have to demand some type of power. That's what I'm saying. You just wearing a shirt's not demanding really a power. You're just saying how y'all feel about it.
Yeah,
That's
but
what I'm saying.
why can't they do both though? We act like LeBron. First of all, LeBron James has always done both. So why can't LeBron actually play and still in the afternoon or the nighttime or daytime or
I
whatever
think
time he
he
got
has his-
be using his organizations to push change? Like
No,
why can't
he
he do
can. He could do that too, but I just think that he has the most power where he could like not play until he wants something really happen. Like I just feel like he has more of a power
Like,
than just giving.
Maybe there's an argument here, Taylor, where it's like, you know how like in the NFL, a player will like sit out his contract until his contract demands are met. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So, like,
that's what I'm saying. There has to be a goal. or something.
Maybe there's a goal there, but I also understand Charlotte's point, which is they also have a platform and maybe they can use that platform to educate more people. Now, some people might go, hey, we're educated, bro. Like this is all we've been focusing on for the last few months. It's not like anybody's going to learn that George Floyd was killed when they start watching a Lakers game.
Yeah.
Like we're aware of it. I guess what I would say is like, if you do play, there has to be some sort of benefit for the cause. And it can't be, well, we're making money and then our community is going to get that money. Because let's be honest, yo. Most NBA players, black NBA players, most do not live in black neighborhoods.
But they
right?
invest. They invest in black neighborhoods.
Sure, they invest in it, but they're not. They're investing, but they're also buying homes in tons of white neighborhoods around the world. And they're doing it, and they're allowed to do that because they want to make money and they want to increase the amount of revenue they have and change their family's life. And that's totally respectable. But what often happens is the money gets removed from the neighborhood, just like Indians do it, just like Asians do it, just like anybody who gets wealthy.
Yeah, but you got guys like LeBron James and Jalen Rose building schools.
Right, 100%.
Shaquille O'Neal got a 26-story apartment complex in Newark. I know some guys who just bought a big ass like 100+ unit building in the hood of Chicago.
Yeah.
You know, Luau Deng, salute to my dude David Gross and all those guys. But it's just like that's the type of things that they do with their money. So I get what you're saying. They're not living in the neighborhood, but they do invest in the community in a real way. And here's the other thing too. All right, NBA players don't play. So now, are they going to be full-time activists? Because essentially, that's what I'm thinking. When I hear Kyrie Irving say, look, we're not going to play, does that mean, Kyrie, you're going to be at every protest? Does that mean that you're gonna be, you know,
I don't.
I'm not
like
saying
what
that.
like what are you gonna do? You I would like Dwight Howard. Are you gonna be a full-time activist now? Like,
Oh, where you going? Oh, your food's ready. Yeah, I think that Kyrie, it's very hard to trust his intentions because throughout his career, his moves have always been very self-serving. You know, like it's hard for me to believe that if Kyrie had the chance to win a championship, he would say, no, we shouldn't come back and play.
yeah.
And he knows he has no chance this year. So he's like, well, fuck it. We might as well sit out and help this cause. It's important. But like everything Kyrie's done in his career has been for Kyrie and nobody else.
I was thinking about that. The Nets might actually have a chance though.
But not because KD not coming back.
Okay, he's not coming back?
Nah, he said he's not playing this season.
Okay.
And
All right.
Kyrie can, barely play, 20 straight games anyway. I think LeBron is like, yo, I think we got this year. Let's go for it. Like, what the fuck are we waiting for?
I think they just want to get back to work like the rest of us. I want to get in the studio.
But we've been working.
I know, but I want to be in the Breakfast Club studio. I want to be with you doing the podcast. I want to get back to work. I'm not going to lie. I want to get back to doing what I love to do, even though I still do it every day. So I can imagine them. They're not doing it at all. Like, I just don't understand. I really don't understand the distraction logic as if athletes have never, protested through sports before. Like they've used those platforms to get that messaging out. Like that logic of it makes zero sense to me. It's a distraction. How?
You know what it is, Charlotte? Someone needs to just go, and it's a really tough thing to do, but someone just needs to go, yo, this is what we want. And you're going to piss people off when you do it. But someone just at a certain point in time needs to go, this is what we want. This is the goal. And
I think they're doing that.
They're
going to
be. Tell me what it is. What is the exact goal?
I think the goal is trying to get some police reform pushed and passed that actually holds police officers accountable, not just accountable from a criminal standpoint, but that disqualifying that qualified immunity thing holds them responsible from what you was talking about last week with the civil standpoint. So now you as a police officer are held personally responsible financially for some shit. I think you need both, right? Because I think a person will, if they know they're not going to lose no money, they'll risk a trial in this police-loving society. You know what I'm saying? They'll risk that. But you got to have both. It's either pension or prison. Pick your poison. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe that's it. Maybe it's it's called qualified immunity.
Qualified immunity. But the Democrats have that in their Justice and Policing Act. They wanted disqualified. They wanted disqualify qualified immunity.
So then
that's in the legislation they're trying to get passed.
So then that's it. Boom. That's a perfect thing. That's number one on the list. We want to get rid of what is it called? Qualified immunity, because makes it possible for police to be prosecuted for their crimes. Because the reality of the matter is, motherfuckers are not going to stop making mistakes on the job.
Not even mistakes. They're not going to blatantly stop fucking people up. This past couple of weeks showed that.
Son,
I mean, this is like getting caught. You ever cheated on your girl? And so you try to be good for that, like a month?
No.
I know. You're right. I know. Black men don't cheat.
Let's talk
Andrew Schulz has never been a cheater. But I'm just saying.
Because I've always been black.
for those who have cheated, when you get caught and you got that period where you're just trying to be extra good.
Yes.
That's when you don't cheat.
Son,
you got to be a real dirt diggler ass motherfucker to still be doing shit during that probationary period.
It's unbelievable, bro. It's unbelievable that there are black people still getting killed this week.
It's
you
crazy.
think this week the police would at least tell each other like, yo, just let them go. Like black people get to not get tickets this week. Just let them go this week. It don't matter.
At least try.
Bruh.
Like, Jesus Christ. Like, why? I'm looking at what happened to dude in Atlanta, Mr. Brooks. I can't remember his first name.
Rayshard Brooks?
Rayshard Brooks. And I'm like, bro, just let him win the foot race.
Done. Bye.
Like, goddamn. Let's let him win the fucking... If you can't chase him down, let him win the foot race. He told you he lives right up the street. His car is right there. All you gotta do is run the license plate number. Get his address. You go pick him up later. You gotta shoot him in the fucking back for what?
Yeah, dog. It's weird, bro. You really think they'd be on best behavior?
Nope.
You think this would be the week, bro? It's like, you get a speeding ticket, and then after that, you drive 65 or you drive whatever the speed is.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, fuck. Or especially if you get like, no, they are just right back to speeding, bro.
Or if you fucking overdose. And you're in the hospital.
I'm
and you
never
wake up,
doing heroin
you're like,
again.
I'm never doing heroin again. But as soon as you get out,
bang.
You know what that tells you? You got a fucking addiction.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers is addicted to that power that comes with being a cop. And if you disrespect that power, they will lay you the fuck out. That's really what it is. They do not like the fact that you had the audacity to challenge them. Whether it's running away, whether it's saying suck my dick, whether it's not complying when they ask you to do stuff, I really think it's just an abuse of power.
Can you tell a cop to suck your dick?
Taylor, pull up the video from them guys in Harlem. Taylor, pull up the video from that dude in Harlem. It was so disrespectful. It was so disrespectful.
Keep saying, I know where you're going.
Suck my dick is such a trigger for me. That shit was so crazy. I was like, yo, he was wilding.
What'd he say? He just told him to suck his dick?
Pull it up, Taylor.
Al can pull it up and we can actually hear it. Oh, no, it doesn't have the... Oh, because I got the computer.
It was the white people you're talking about, right?
No, they couldn't have been white. All I heard was the audio because Angela was playing the audio on the radio. There was no way they was white. That was straight Cameron, Dipset era. Like
now, what is the law? Like, can you tell a police officer to suck on your dick?
I'm sure you can.
You can? That's legal? I want to know what I'm allowed to say. Can you say, like, have a good day, suck my dick?
I'm sure you can. I've seen too many people curse out police officers for it not.
Can you say this? Can you be like, officer, do you know if I could park here, suck my dick? Like, I'm trying to see if I could throw it in to just regular police interactions right there. Oh, this street is closed. Do you know how I could get to Broome Street? Suck my dick.
Bruh, it was bad. You got it, Taylor?
Son, you cannot tell me at my age 36 that I could have been telling police officers suck my dick legally.
You're a white man and you've never cursed out a cop?
Bro, no.
Really?
It's like cursing out your cousin. Why would I curse them out, dude? Why would I curse them out for? They just want to keep me safe at any point in time.
Oh my God. Hold on. What
Dude,
else we got?
Suck my dick.
Now, suck my
so
dick
you
is
can
nasty.
really say anything to a cop.
You got it? Is this audio?
As long as you're not threatening this. Let me see.
Is this it? Let me hear it.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. This one?
No, I
Black
don't
Lives
think.
Matter, defund the police. I find it disgusting that the LAPD
Tell it.
Which one is it?
I don't know. The one where they say suck my dick. So here's the thing. This is important.
Hold on,
This is an important distinction, Charla. So
okay, go ahead.
Alex just said you cannot threaten them. Okay? So you can't say suck my dick or else, but you can say you may suck my dick.
Really?
you can allow that. You can allow it like if somebody wants like a bite of, your pie.
Is that it?
You got it?
They did it. It was a protest, and they were like, "Suck my dick."
No, that's not
nah.
it.
This might have been this clearly had to be on World Star. Go look on World Star. Because remember Angela Yee played it the other day on Breakfast Club. I don't remember exactly what it was, but the moral of the story is, cops don't give a flying fuck. And
can you ask a cop, can you say to a cop like, yo, eat my pussy?
Huh?
Exactly.
I told a cop shut the fuck up.
Because you don't got a pussy. So they technically can't do the thing that you're asking them to do.
Seriously, why is it so disrespectful to tell somebody to suck your dick? Suck your dick is so disrespectful that people with no dick say it.
Yo, you know how?
Women will be like, suck my dick.
I know.
No. This is how disrespectful suck my dick is, right? If your girl is about to suck your dick and you go, yo, suck my dick, she's like, man, get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here. Don't you fucking disrespect
literally,
me.
she's right about to suck your dick. And
Don't
you go, yo,
disrespect me.
suck my dick. Who the fuck you talking to? Who the fuck you talking to telling me to suck your dick?
I've never understood
this right here?
I've never understood why somebody giving you pleasure in something that is pleasurable would be disrespectful.
Yeah, it's just an odd thing, especially if there's something they want to do. They're about to do it. Give me, because it's going to get in the thing.
That's it?
Let me see.
Oh, that's him.
Yo, bro, if you ain't had that badge on, where my mother rock spank? Suck my dick. You pussy, nigga. You pussy, nigga. I'm big Crip, nigga. You pussy, nigga.
Crippin' over here, Crip.
Suck my dick, nigga.
You know that.
You pussy, nigga.
You know
I'll
that.
boom you, nigga.
You know
I'll
that.
boom you, nigga.
You know
Fuck
that.
you talking about,
You
nigga.
crippin'.
You know me, nigga.
You
Flossy
crippin'.
loco, nigga.
You
Get
crippin'.
big cash. I'll boom you, nigga. Fuck you talking about, nigga. Like I said, suck my dick, nigga.
Crippin'.
That ain't even the one, but that's a good one.
Show your niggas, nigga. I'm like
Son, that was a lot of suck my dicks, bro.
That's a good one. That's
Yo,
not even the one I was
can I
talking about. The one I
say
was talking
something?
about. The one I was talking about. They were searching his car and they was searching a car in Harlem.
Oh, no, that one's a little different. But I will say this. Suck my dick has diminishing power.
Talk to me.
Like the first suck my dick really stings. Do you know what I mean? Like
Suck my dick is kind of basic though.
Yeah, it's basic, but
It's
think about it. The first time someone says it to you, you're like, yo, what the fuck? Around like the fourth or fifth or sixth time,
You like, pull your fucking pants down. Let me show you what the fuck my mouth do. I'm sick of this shit. Now, let me see.
you
what-
really not about this life,
You ain't
huh?
about this shit. Let me see.
Son, what if he says suck my dick and the cop just took a knee, bro?
That's what I'm saying.
Yo, son.
That's what I'm saying. One day, I'm telling you, one day, one of you suck a dick motherfuckers is gonna get what you asking for. I'm serious. One day, you suck a dick people is gonna get what you asking for.
Real
You
talk.
You talking about NBA players demanding what they want. Y'all have a very specific ass. And y'all keep saying that shit to people and watch what the fuck happens, man. I'm
You
telling
might get your dick sucked. You might get your dick sucked by someone you don't want to suck by.
A cop is definitely.
You
Okay.
really want a cop to suck your dick? Come on, dog. He just rolls that shit into a donut.
Bruh, that'll be the worst thing for you. A cop suck your dick and then look you in the eyes and say, Black lives do matter.
Yo, son. You're wild, bro. You're wild, bro. Yeah. The visual
What the fuck
of you
just
cleaning off
Yo,
your
for real.
face.
I just-
The
I
cleaning
don't
off your
even know.
face visual. You didn't have to suck his sloppy, bro. You didn't have to use all the saliva everywhere.
Hey, but by the way, if a cop ever did do that,
Yeah.
you would disrespect the shit out that cop.
Wait, what do you mean?
You would be fucking ramming his head.
son.
You'd be nutting in his face.
There's a lot of
You
porn
would-
like that, though.
You'd be slapping your dick around his fucking mouth.
Yo,
Like,
son.
look
Charla.
at this guy. I got this cop sucking my
Charla.
dick, son.
Charla.
Look at this cop.
What? Hold on.
Then later on, you'll see the cop be like, that's that punk ass cop who sucked my dick.
son. Why the cop gotta be a dude? It could have been a girl cop.
Oh, no, that's nothing. Nobody cares about that. That's nothing. That's nothing. Who the fuck cares about that? Come on now.
Yo. Oh fuck.
That wouldn't be an entertaining storyline. You'd be like, what? Jesus Christ. Now listen, you know who else? I'm gonna tell you who's what a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Tanaya
Who's an
Soleil
idiot?
and what's the other young lady's name? Tanaya Soleil and what's her name? It's the Middle East and Eastern Europe influencer.
What'd she
And
say?
Tanaya Soleil and Suhaila Laqab. They both, in support of Black Lives Matter, decided to put on blackface. So they put the blackface on. One of them put an afro on. The other one put brown on one. They put brown paint on one side, and she put we're all black on the inside.
She said we're all black on the
We're
inside.
all black on the inside. No, what did she say? Oh, let me read this stupid shit. I wish I was black. Oh, one of them, the one that put the afro on, said, I wish I was black because my idols in music and dance are black. All the athletes I respect are black, right? The other young lady said, just because we're black on the outside doesn't mean we're black on the inside. Racist people are the true black-hearted ones. They are black on the inside and they know it. Too woke, bro. Too woke. Too fucking woke. Sometimes when you're too woke, you know, you don't think straight because sleep deprivation is a real fucking thing, man. You got to get them naps, bro.
Nap
Get
time.
them naps. All you
Nap
woke people,
time.
get them naps, man. Take a nap.
You know what it is? I think you could tell how many black friends people have by the way they protest. And the crazier the protest, the fewer black friends they know. Like, there's no way that those two girls have a single black friend in their entire phone. Because no black friend would be like, nah, that's a good thing to do. Yeah. Name one black person that would see them with their half of their face painted black and go, nah, you really showing support. That's what we needed.
No. Yeah, we would absolutely be like, yo, knock it the fuck off. And why wouldn't you run that by some of your black friends?
Because they don't have any black friends.
They don't have no black friends.
They have no, I'm telling you, bro, you could really, people who don't have any black friends, they don't want to be, they might come from a good place. They don't want to seem racist, but they truly don't know how to show black people they're not racist, so they go over the top with it. They're trying to be like too woke, and they end up doing this goofy ass shit.
They might know black people, but they're not friends with them.
Yeah, they know some black people, but not well enough to like ask them if they should paint their face black or not, or like wear an afro.
Another positively brilliant. First of all, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has been positively brilliant for over 60 plus years. But there was a social experiment that happened this week that I found so interesting.
Which was?
Chelsea Handler posted an old video of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan when he was on Donahue. And it's him breaking down, white privilege to an audience, and it's when Farrakhan was saying, I really don't think you fully understand what has happened to these people you look at as second class or inferior citizens in this nation. And he was breaking down how black people were brought to this country and stripped of their name and their language and their culture and their religion and their God and all of that, right? And Chelsea posted it with the caption, I learned a lot from watching this powerful video. Jamila Jamil reposted it with the caption, and I gotta find her exact caption. I gotta find who sent me this yesterday, because man, this was so goddamn hilarious. Hold on. Let me see, man. Somebody sent me this shit yesterday. Who the fuck sent me this Jamila Jamil video? Hold on. I got it right here. Hold on. Y'all know Jamila Jamil, right?
Yes.
Okay.
She's like the body shaming thing?
Yeah, Jamila posted the same video and put, someone please tell me the name of this extraordinary man who so perfectly sums up white fear in under a minute, right? So then, like Jennifer Aniston liked it, and Michelle Pfeiffer, and Sean Hayes, right? All of these white people. Today, the Daily Beast runs an article, Hollywood celebs are praising an anti-Semitic hate monger, right? And they said, do your homework. So all of these people, except for Chelsea Handler so far, have pulled down their Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan post. Right? Because, the media wants to paint Minister Farrakhan as anti-Semitic and, homophobic and misogynistic, all of these different things, right? What I found interesting is that the truth can never be denied. When somebody says something honest and truthful, right, and you don't have no context to it, like you don't have no context about the person saying it, nothing. You're just listening to the words that are coming out of their mouth. It resonates with you. Right. And it resonates with you so much that you want to share it. Right. So what does it say when you find out that the media may feel a certain way about this person, so they start changing the narrative of this person to you? Does it change the truth that they spoke? Should they have taken those videos down, regardless of how they felt about who the messenger was? Or should the truth have been spoken regardless? Because they always say God uses the people that you would least suspect, right, to deliver certain messages. So if that message touched you, should it impact you any less because of who it came from?
I think the message shouldn't, but we do understand that messengers are important. And I think that Chelsea Handler's Jewish, right?
Yes.
I think that Chelsea Handler, since she's Jewish, can be way more comfortable reposting the Honorable Minister Farrakhan, because if he said some things that people deem anti-Semitic, she could be like, well, look, I'm Jewish and I'm posting this. What are you going to say? I'm anti-Semitic? Whereas Jennifer Aniston, these other people who might not be Jewish, have to live in fear that they could be labeled as an anti-Semite because they're supporting this guy who has said things that are anti-Semitic, or people interpret as anti-Semitism.
And you're right, and I get it. But my thing is this. Does it matter if what he said in that moment that you agree with is true?
So now you're going down to really Now you're going down a really tough situation where it's like people could go, this is what people say to you. They go, well, Charlamagne, if this racist guy from the KKK said some things, that were similar to what Jesus said in the Bible, is that cool that message is true?
I think y'all have listened to me long enough to know that I understand nuance.
Right.
And I'm a stern believer. You can learn something from anything.
Right.
But are you willing to listen is the thing, right? Because think about it. If I'm walking down the road, right, and the KKK member says, hey, don't go down there, they're going to shoot you. Am I going to ignore him because he's a KKK member?
It's a good point.
If you're walking down the road and Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan says, look, for the next half mile, it's nothing but landmines. Are you going to not listen to him?
All right, here's the thing. Reposting it and liking it seems like a cosign of the person. So, we had this discussion on Flagrant, but it's very difficult for us to separate the art from the artist, but we can separate the science from the scientists. You know what I mean?
Probably because we don't know no scientists except for Neil deGrasse Tyson and Bill Nye.
Degrassi, bro. Yeah. So I guess what I'm trying to say is if a fucking scientist told you some shit that's true, and they were a really fucked up person, they did some foul stuff,
Neil deGrasse Tyson. You're not gonna listen to Neil deGrasse Tyson because he got Me Too'd?
Does it depend how much you hate the person?
I wouldn't listen to Neil deGrasse Tyson anyway, bro.
That's not his name? What the fuck is his name?
It's Neil deGrasse, but Degrassi's funny because that's where Drake got shot.
Oh, okay. Well, Neil deGrasse. God, deGrasse sounds so plain.
You're confusing dorky black guys.
Well, listen, you're not gonna listen to him because he got Me Too'd?
Exactly, right?
You're not going to listen to what he has to say about science because he got Me Too'd?
Exactly. So it's maybe this thing that the minister said within itself, that message resonates with you regardless of who said it. It could be a minister. Yes. It could be your mom. It could be some chick named Natalie. It could be anybody, right?
Yes.
So that's what you're saying. What you're saying is it don't matter who said it as long as it resonates with you. And I guess what I'm saying is people think that if you like a page, then Jamila Hill is a perfect example. If you like any Jamila Hill
just got taken off all the syrup bottles. Aunt Jamila. Aunt Jamila is no longer.
No, but Jamila Hill is if you like any meme page that has ever had something slightly racist on that meme page, she will find that out and she will expose you even if you're a 5th round draft pick, right? So there's a version of Jamel Hill that does the exact same thing for people who like pages that might have anti-Semitic rhetoric or homophobic rhetoric or et cetera on it. So that same gotcha journalism exists on both sides. Yeah. When the reality is maybe that meme page had a funny meme that wasn't racist, and maybe this message by Mr. Farrakhan was absolutely beautiful despite the other things he said that might be questionable by some people.
Yeah, I think that I got to put people under the what a fucking idiot if you don't understand nuance. Because to me, this was such a great social experiment because it showed if you don't have no context to a person, right? Somebody as polarizing as the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. He's polarizing to a lot of people.
Yeah.
If you don't have any context about this person, Jamil didn't even know who he was, but she heard those words coming out of his mouth. That truth resonated with her so much, she had to repost it. Chelsea Handler heard that truth. She had to repost it. All these other celebrities heard that truth. They had to repost it. But once they are told by the media what to think about a person,
then forget it.
Fuck, that's whack to me.
You know what it is? Whack. It's like when Trump and Kim Kardashian were working on getting that black person out of jail, right? It was wrongfully accused or something.
Alicia Johnson, I think her name was.
Right. So it's there were a lot of people that couldn't look at that specific act and go, this is a good thing because it was attached to this person they despise so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's stupid.
And I know, and what you're saying is praise the act because the act isn't the person. Praise the message because that message isn't the person.
Yes.
It don't mean that you co-sign the guy that did it.
And even if it is the message coming from said person, that don't mean you should dismiss it. I think that we should all be a little bit more intelligent enough to know that I'm not going to agree with everything a person says, but truth is truth regardless of who says it.
Yo,
Right is right regardless of who's doing it. Malcolm X had a quote. I'm going to find it. Go ahead. Say your thought. You had a thought.
Oh, yeah. There's a saying. It's, you ready? People don't have ideas. Ideas have people. So we think that we're the ones that
ideas have people.
We think we're the ones that are coming up with all these ideas, but the reality is these ideas actually have us. These ideas always exist. Ideas are out in the ether. An idea can be said by Mr. Farrakhan, but that same idea can be shared by Malcolm X. It can be shared by Teddy Roosevelt. It can be shared by anybody. That idea exists out there in the ether. And maybe there's something that's special about Minister Farrakhan, which allowed him to attach himself to it.
Yeah.
Right? But the idea exists separately from him. He doesn't own the idea. So liking the idea is not a reflection on liking the person delivering it. Absolutely. But the way we see social media, we always assume it is.
I'm going to post this tomorrow. I've posted this before, but Malcolm X says, I'm for truth no matter who tells it.
Bang.
I'm for justice no matter who it is for or against.
Yeah.
I'm a human being first and foremost. And as such, I'm for whoever and whatever benefits humanity as a whole. Simple as fucking that.
Yeah.
Like that's even though I got to put this under the what a fucking idiot. That's what Ben Carson was getting at when he said he wants everybody to stop being sensitive and grow up in response to Trump's speech in Tulsa. He said the U.S. needs to stop being offended about every fucking thing.
Okay.
And that's a fact. He said we've reached a point in our society where we dissect everything and try to ascribe some nefarious notion to it. That is very fucking true. When is the last time you saw something and actually just thought that the person meant well? When the last time we've seen something on Twitter go viral because people aren't picking it apart?
Yeah, you just trusted the messaging.
Yes. When the last time? Like I'm watching them go crazy on J. Cole, who has been a hip hop media darling for so long. And I'm like, am I missing something here?
Yeah, I could feel it in the air. There's a little, people want to cancel right now. Can you feel it? Like people are anxious, people are angry. They're like, nah, we need to flex the muscle a little bit right now.
Can we cancel white supremacy? Can we cancel systemic racism?
That's fire.
Can we cancel police brutality? Can we you talk about being distracted. Y'all talking about the NBA being a distraction. Fucking J. Cole put out a song last night and everybody's distracted. I didn't, to be honest with you, I didn't even know what was going on.
Fire.
I'm catching all backstory here. You know, I saw the tweet from the young lady named No Name. My niece Nyla put me on because Nyla was putting me on to No Name's music a while ago because she was saying how I would really like No Name because she's dope and she speaks for something. And No Name posted a tweet and she said, poor black folks all over the country are putting their bodies on the line in protest for our collective safety. And y'all favorite top selling rappers not even willing to put a tweet up. Niggas' whole discographies be about black plight and they're nowhere to be found. J. Cole put out a song yesterday called Snow on the Bluff, where he's basically, I guess, replying to her tweet. And J. Cole basically said, he even tweeted out this morning, I haven't done a lot of reading. And I don't feel well equipped as a leader in these times, but I do a lot of thinking. And I appreciate her, as in No Name, and others like her because they challenge my beliefs. And I feel that in these times, that's important. And I was listening to J. Cole's song and listening to what he said about No Name. And I understand what all the black women are saying that, you know, at a time where black women are being attacked and, you know, getting found dead and things of that nature.
Yeah.
It just sounds kind of crazy for a man to be being passive aggressive towards a woman in a sense. And I get that. I totally understand that, right? You got to read the room sometime. But I also agree with J. Cole in the sense that why did people make J. Cole out to be a revolutionary?
I think
who died and made J. Cole Tupac? Tupac?
I think J. Cole leaned into it.
I don't think he did at all.
You don't
never
think
thought
so?
that.
You don't think the music has been woke? You don't think the
Do you
music
listen
has
to
had
J. Cole
messaging?
though? Not just his mainstream. I'm talking about like, do you listen to his like?
Yes, but not only do I listen to J. Cole's music, I listen to J. Cole's interviews, and I'm on record. I've said it before. When I listen to J. Cole's interviews, I've always heard a brother who's still trying to figure it out. He's not even able to articulate what he feels sometimes. He just knows he feels it. That's why I think the pen is so good for a brother like that. Because when he sits down and he can write those rhymes, he can tell you what he thinks. He can tell you what he believes, right? But he may not have the answers or the solutions to the problems. You know what I mean? He can just tell you what he's feeling and what he's experiencing. But they exalted J. Cole as this leader of a revolution. Like when the protest broke out, they're like, where J. Cole at? Where Kendrick at? Like, I don't expect them to be there. You know what I expect these guys to be? In the studio, making the soundtrack to the protests. I'm waiting for Kendrick too. I'd love to
It's
hear
his
some
birthday
Kendrick
today,
music.
too.
But guess what? If he don't put out no music, I'm not tripping. I'm not forcing Andrew to do a set during quarantine. You know what I'm saying? Andrew, where your new material at? What if Andrew fucking depressed? What if Andrew got anxiety? What if Andrew going through some shit? What if Andrew don't feel like being creative in this moment?
They don't see that, though.
They
don't see celebrities as that.
That is true, but like, I'll be honest, like we did a couple pieces on what's going on, you know, and we thought it was important to do it. And we use the platform that we have. And
Yeah.
I did everything that I thought that I could do within my power and using the skill that I have and the platform and the access I have to kind of explain these things. And we did it, you know, Alex, my guy, Mark, like that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to contribute to this movement in whatever way we can. I think that being said, I've never been an activist. Y'all know that that's not my thing. I never claimed to be an activist. And maybe some people thought of J. Cole as an activist and then not seeing him or again, I don't know enough about his music to make an accurate statement, but maybe they thought not seeing him as present or something like that was like, yo, you were always here and loud before, but we haven't seen you doing this now. Maybe they were questioning that.
I mean, he was.
Again, I don't know enough to say, but
I'm with you.
I'm asking.
But he was at a couple protests. And I think sometimes, man, we mistake support for activism.
Right.
You know, if I show up to a protest, it doesn't mean that I'm an activist. It means that I'm showing support.
Right.
If I'm standing in a fucking car, I'm not if I'm standing in a garage, I'm not a car. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you see me randomly standing in your garage, you should call somebody. But I'm just simply saying, like, just because I show up to a protest doesn't mean I'm an activist. I'm just here to support. And that's what I think guys like J. Cole do.
Yeah. You know what it is? I think it's like when you create, and I hate to talk about comedy and stuff like that, like art, because I think it's kind of like bougie. But like when you create content, let's say, in the way that you do or I do, we reflect on the culture, right? When I mean the culture, I don't just mean like black culture. I mean like whatever's happening within culture at the time.
Absolutely.
If it's Trump, if it's Biden, if it's protest, whatever it is. So for me to put out a video or a piece that didn't reflect what was going on with George Floyd would be phony for me because I always reflect on what's going on. So I feel like, of course, J. Cole, if he puts out music, he's going to reflect what's going on, right? Because that's just kind of what he does naturally, no?
Yeah,
like I feel like if you're putting out party songs right now, you're missing the point a little bit.
Little Baby dropped fire. What's the name of that Little Baby record? Little Baby song so goddamn hard, and he rapping about what's going on right now. What's the name of that record, Taylor?
Oh, that's right. He just dropped an album, right?
Man, that shit's so hard. No, it wasn't an album. It's just a song.
Oh.
Little Baby dropped a hard-ass record. Meek Mill dropped a hard-ass record with Other Side of America. But guess what? That's what those brothers and
the bigger
sisters...
picture.
The bigger picture?
The bigger picture.
Bigger picture. That shit is hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just like, yo, if he was moved to make that, fine. If Andrew, you're moved to make those type of sketches or that commentary, fine. But you can't force people to do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just like you can't force people to be at protests. And I saw people saying, oh, J. Cole, you know, he's not a real leader and this and that. And I'm like, why is he not a real leader? Is he not a real leader because he admitted he don't read all the time? Like I saw that tweet. That tweet was wild, which I thought was hilarious, where he was like, you know, he don't really, I read it a little while ago, but it's just like, because he doesn't read, doesn't make him a great leader. Like, I don't think that matters. I think great leaders don't set out to be a leader. I think they set out to make a difference. Like, it's never about the role. It's about the goal. J. Cole has always set out to make a difference.
Yeah. I see. Let me ask you this question. Like, you know how like, if your boss treats you like shit at work or whatever the authority figures treat you like shit at work, you know how sometimes the husband comes home or the wife comes home and then treats the family like shit?
Absolutely.
And she wants to treat the boss like shit, but she can't because they're an authority figure. So she ends up treating the people like shit that she can, right? Which are the people closest to them.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's kind of what's happening right now, which is like people are just really furious that the authority figures, you know, the police are treating
Oh, yes.
the black people like shit.
Yeah. 100%.
And since you can't act out on the police officers outside of telling them to suck your
100%.
dick, you're like, all right, well, we got to take out this anguish on the people closest to us. And J. Cole might be one of those people.
J. Cole.
You know what I
J.
mean?
Cole,
Like,
J. Cole said something this morning in one of those tweets. He said, we all got to be easy with each other. Or we all got to be kind to each other or something, be nice to each other. And he's absolutely right. My brothers, my sisters, everybody's hurting.
yeah.
Everybody is in pain.
Yeah.
Everybody's tender right now. Like everybody is literally out here trying to do their best. I
Yeah.
don't think J. Cole had any ill intention when it came to, you know, replying to No Name. No Name is a rapper, right? So J. Cole did what he did. J. Cole rapped. He didn't tweet. J. Cole don't be tweeting crazy like that. No Name, salute to her. She posted a tweet and she expressed herself. And guess what? She didn't name no names, but a hit dog will holler. So
Yeah.
J. Cole said himself, he
Yeah.
felt like he wasn't doing enough. So No
Right.
Name was absolutely right. No Name hit one of J. Cole's pain bodies in that moment because J. Cole probably is sitting around hurt, vulnerable, trying to figure out a solution to things and feel like he wasn't doing enough. So he went in the studio and he expressed himself.
Yeah.
I think that J. Cole was just using that as an entry point to let everybody know I'm not the leader of this movement. I am
Right.
not the activist leader that y'all think I am. I'm just simply trying to figure it out. And I think that's where we get things fucked up. Is J. Cole a leader of the new school when it comes to rap? Hell yeah. For
Right.
the past decade, J. Cole's been a part of that three-headed monster with Drake and Kendrick.
Yeah.
But does that mean he's Tamika Mallory? No.
Right.
Does that
right.
mean he's my son? No.
Right.
Does that mean he's Linda Sarsour? No. Does that mean he's Philip Agnew? No. He's not one of those activists that's out there on the front lines. He just shows up to protest in support. Y'all made him that. And now when a person doesn't meet your expectation of them, you're disappointed. That's the problem with us right now as a people. We have an expectation of people that we
then-
create in our own mind.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. And then they don't meet our expectation that we gave them. And then we get disappointed when they're like, yo, I didn't ask for none of this, man. I just wanted to make really cool music that had a message in it. Like,
That's it.
I think you
He
hit the
said
nail on the head there.
He said, I don't read a lot, but I think a lot. He's a
Yep.
thought leader. You
Yeah.
listen to J. Cole's music, you know he's a thought leader.
Yeah.
He's able to provide soundtracks for things that are going on.
Yo, I
But
think you're right about that, man. But I really also think it has to do with like just being hurt and having no outlet for the anger and then touching the people that are closest to you, right? Like, because that's what we do. Like when we're in a bad mood, I find myself doing this in a bad mood. Like, and it sucks. But if I'm in a bad mood and then like a friend of mine does something or like puts a can somewhere where it shouldn't be or whatever, I'm like, yo, you just gonna leave that there? I don't give a fuck if they leave a can on the table, but I'm lashing out because I got some shit going on in my life.
Yeah,
You know?
Yeah.
So I
And-
can
and-
totally, yeah.
And I look at all the sisters online and the sisters are saying things like, you know, J. Cole got the nerve to tell black women to be patient. Listen, I totally get it. I totally understand why black women, you know, don't have patience with us anymore. I totally understand. But I just think we all need to be patient with each other because whether we realize it or not, we're all in this together. Black men are getting killed. Black women are getting killed. Black trans people are getting killed. Like, we're all in this together. Like, we don't have,
Yeah,
we're
but
not, not each other's enemies.
Bro, it's going to be tough for the person who says it, and they're going to have to find a way more eloquent way to say it than the way I'm going to say it. But like, in a situation like this, you can't have an all lives matter approach. You have to have a specific goal, and some people are going to have to sacrifice. Like, I've been talking to friends, I can't say where they work, but they work in, you know, certain industries.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, how do we affect change within our industry, right? People who are part of like big corporations. And they literally said at these tables, they've gone, you know what? We're going to make this the prime focus. We're going to make black equality the prime focus. And you know what that means? That means the cancer kids got to take second fiddle. That means women's rights got to take second fiddle. That means that special needs got to take second fiddle. That means we're going to ignore those other issues because this specific issue, and if we're going to do anything to change it, requires all our focus. And that's the whole idea between Black Lives Matter versus All Lives Matter. But you can't All Lives Matter your own movement. You see what I'm saying?
No, I get you. I just think it's very weird that we can't walk and chew gum at the same fucking time.
No, you can't. No. In this situation, you can't. If you want to chew the fuck out of that gum and get every bit of flavor out of it and make sure you feel every bit of flavor that gum has, you need to sit there and focus on the flavor. You could walk and chew gum and talk on the phone and do all those things, but while you're talking on the phone, you're going to forget what flavor the gum is.
Now,
and while you're walking, you're going to forget about the phone call.
I just think that it takes allied, concerted effort between black people, white people, black men, black women, men, women, LGBT, black people.
What is civil rights about, man? Civil rights, at the end of the day, we talk about how it's about equality, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in its essence, civil rights is about sacrifice. Civil rights is people who have privilege per se. I don't even like to call it privilege because it's not a privilege that I don't get killed by the cops. That's the bare minimum that I don't get killed by the cops. That's what everybody should have, bare minimum, right? That shouldn't be some benefit I get. So, but the idea of civil rights is people who are getting more have to sacrifice some of what they have for other people to come up. And that doesn't just mean white people. That also means maybe people within the black movement. Maybe it's like, you know what? We want black trans lives. We want our support and everything right now too. But maybe it's the black trans movement starts to go, you know what? What's more important right now is Black Lives Matter. And we're going to get to our shit after. And Black Lives Matter, you better support us when the focus is just on us. Because we're going to take this sacrifice right now to push this to the top.
Yeah, I mean, but hold on one second.
Yeah, this is an interesting conversation. I want to keep going on this. Let's pay a bill real quick. Yo, man, shout out to Squarespace. Simple as that. If you need a website, you need to get that domain. You need to legitimize your business. I don't care. Everything's on the internet. If there's anything that Corona showed us, it's that the companies and businesses that have been able to flourish through the internet, ourselves included, are succeeding within this pandemic. And it's because we have that space available. When you can't leave the house, you can leave the house, I guess, on the internet when you're surfing, when you're web searching, etc. So make sure you have a place right there. The way you do that is that you go to squarespace.com and you get yourself a domain. Okay. They have all these custom templates. It's so easy. I can do it. Okay. I'm inept when it comes to this internet shit. Or actually, maybe not, I shouldn't say internet, but like, website building and that kind of stuff. I just don't know how to do it. Squarespace is the easiest thing that you've ever experienced. Yeah. We're just talking about Squarespace right now. So make sure you go get your website, squarespace.com. Okay. Make sure you use the promo code IDIOTS. Okay. The promo code IDIOTS, and you can get, what % off can we give them? Oh, idiot. What % off can we give them, Taylor? We can give you 10% off, okay? You can go try it for free, by the way. You can go set up your website. You can go set up everything. And when you want to launch it, use that promo code IDIOT, okay? And then you can get that 10% off your website or domain. Go do that right now. Shouts to Squarespace. I'm telling you, if you have a business, it has to have a website. That is it, okay? You need to have a CPR kit in the fucking restaurant, and you need to have a website, or else the shit ain't legit. Let's get back to the show. We were having an interesting conversation.
I want to... Yeah, I just want to say, what you said is absolutely true, but that goes back to what I said when I said it has to be an allied, concerted effort, because yes, black people cannot change or dismantle a system that we didn't create. So it does take those people that have privilege, those white people that are in positions of power, to give up some of that privilege and power. Like they just have to. Like in order to make this world equal, we all have to do that. White people got to give up some of that privilege and power for black people and others.
That is the idea of civil rights.
Men got to give up some of our privilege and power to make to share with other women, to share with women. And that's why I don't even I hate that term make space. I don't because this is all God's, right? So we're not making space for anybody. You know what I mean? If anything, we're just finally let's be more welcoming. Let's all be intentional about being welcoming.
It's make opportunity, not space.
Ooh,
you know what I mean?
There you
just
go.
Give opportunity. It's like give everybody.
There you go.
The idea, isn't that the idea? The idea of civil rights, it's not Making space is, hey, you guys can have your own water fountain over there. I made some space for your own water fountain. Making opportunity is like, nah, we all gonna share the water fountain. You know, and if that means you gotta wait a little longer at your water fountain, that's what it means.
Now, by the way, I don't mind having my own water fountain. I get what I get it. I get the analogy the analogy's on point, but I don't mind having my own water.
You know what's mad funny? Do you think like black people saw the way that white people kiss our dogs in the mouth and they were like, yo, should we get our water fountains back? Yo, why the fuck we share a water fountain? the fuck were we thinking, bro?
For real, man.
Some of the segregation ain't all bad.
So I just sent you something, Charlamagne, about Umar Johnson. He was kind of trying to say that.
For good.
But this is the first time I kind of, in a way, I see what he's talking about. But he's saying, like, you know, when it comes to protesting and stuff like that, we can't have a successful protest. Like, black people can't have a successful protest because if white people get involved, because it now shows like a mix or something. And he said something like where it takes away from what our purpose in, because like what you guys said earlier, it becomes into like a all.
I don't agree with that. I haven't listened to what he said, but I highly disagree. And the reason I disagree because if the protest is for Black Lives Matter, it doesn't matter who's protesting it. You know what I'm saying? If black people are out there on the front lines and white people on the front lines and Asian people, but we're protesting for this specific thing, it doesn't matter. Like, listen, so you're telling me that people with cancer can't protest for people with AIDS?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what are you saying?
Yeah.
Like, what
you
are
have
you saying?
You have to hear the audio.
By that whole Taylor, by that logic, men can't stand up for women then. By your logic, men can't stand up for women.
It's an interesting
It was
point.
how he said it though,
Of course.
I can see what
it's an
he's
interesting
meaning.
point.
Though.
It just has a lot of holes in it, and it's not exactly how you structurally fit this. Because if the goal is integration and the goal is reform, you need the side that is rejecting to be part of it. If the goal is revolution and take over and destroy, then you don't give a fuck what the side is.
Yeah.
But the reality of the matter is, as a minority in a country, you have to get the support of the majority in order to have equal opportunity. So I think you want it. And if you notice the big changes that have happened, that's when there has been unilateral support for the movement, right? I think you want people to recognize. And I think if there's one thing that we learned from these protests is there are a lot of white people, a lot of Asian people, a lot of brown people who are like, yo, Black Lives Matter to us, bro.
Yes, because they don't only just love black culture, they love black people. And if you don't think it matters, be the lone white boy in the hood. be the lone white boy in the hood who loves hip hop and loves hip hop culture and wants to dress and talk and listen to the music, and you love black women. Let's see how that goes for you if you don't got no black support. All right, let's see if they give a fuck about you without any black support. Let's see how that goes for you.
Yeah, that's a great point. It goes both ways.
It goes both ways. You need the support of other individuals sometimes in certain circumstances. I think this is one of those crucial turning points in America where we need each other.
That's a brilliant way of putting it, man. Because like, I remember when I was younger, I'd go hang out with a buddy of mine, and he lived out in Brooklyn by Eastern Parkway. And I'd be walking.
Black Jamaicans everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Super Jamaican.
What you doing around here, white boy?
Exactly. So, and I remember I'd be like walking in the neighborhood, and then, you know, some people would maybe like ask some questions or whatever, and there'd be someone else who's like, nah, that's Sadiqi's boy, everything's cool.
Yep.
Right?
Exactly. I gotta know who you are. You might be an undercover cop.
Yo, okay.
You might be a pedophile.
You might be a mark. Right?
Yes. You might have your white van around the corner trying to kidnap kids. I don't know the fuck this. What are you doing?
100%. But once somebody from the neighborhood was like, nah, he's cool, right?
That's it.
That's literally all civil rights is. Right? It's just like, nah, they're cool. Like, yo, why are you giving them a hard time? Like, yo, what's going on? Leave it alone. Everything's cool.
By the way, that sounds like a joke, but it's not, because think about it. If you're an old white politician, what reason would Lyndon B. Johnson have to do this, or John F. Kennedy to start the talks of the Civil Rights Acts and the Voting Rights Acts, other than look, these people are cool and they're gonna tear our fucking country up if we don't fucking do the right thing. You know what I mean? Like you have eventually empathy has to kick in where you got to say to yourself, okay, what we're doing is wrong. Like, this is wrong. Like, I refuse to believe that at some point human empathy doesn't kick in. And somebody in those positions of power says, we have to do right by these people, or we have to do right by black people. We got to do right by women. We got to do right by gays. Eventually there is something. Yo, that George Floyd video, everybody's empathy kicked in. You can't be a fucking human with a soul and watch that video and not have empathy kick in and eventually be like, fuck no, we got to stop this shit. That shouldn't happen to any human.
Yeah, and I think what you're seeing is like the outcry of support, I think, is also a reflection of like integration, right? Like the internet has kind of made the world really small, and we've all kind of like started appreciating each other and appreciating each other's culture. And you have a lot of white people, even through like TikTok dances, are really getting to know like fun black things that might have never permeated their like super white life.
Like,
you know what I mean?
That's not true.
Say, I mean that. Like you see these like white girls doing these TikTok dances that might never have entered their sphere 20 years ago. They might have. I really believe that.
White people been stealing black people.
Yeah, but say they've been stealing our shit. You didn't see Bring It On?
Say again?
You didn't see Bring It On?
Are you referencing Bring It On, bro?
She got a point though. Like that whole movie was about. That whole movie was about colonization.
No,
Bring It On. Bring It On is all about colonization, bro. I'm telling you.
I'm not questioning whether white people have taken black culture, right? I think that's not what's up for grabs here. I'm thinking like now it's ubiquitous, right? Now it's just like if something is popular, there were times where things could be popular in the white world and things could be popular in a black world. And now if it's popular, it crosses over. Now you've said this a lot, like, because black culture is mainstream culture.
Hip hop is pop culture,
or
man.
hip hop is pop culture, etc. And I think because of that, because there's so much familiarity, when you see that guy with a knee on his back of his neck and then he ends up dying at the hands of a cop, and there's so many young kids right now that grew up with black friends that maybe never grew up with black friends 40 years ago, right?
You're
like,
literally, okay.
Go.
No, I was just gonna say you're literally looking at a generation of white kids who grew up with black people being their heroes. In every aspect.
Sure.
Whether it's politics, Barack Obama.
Sure,
you know what I mean? Whether it's
point.
sports, it's the LeBron James, Kobe Bryant's. Like, whether it's music, it's, the Drakes and the J. Coles and the Kendricks. You have a whole generation of people where black people are their hero.
Yeah.
Like no matter what race you are, you can point to a black person and that person has inspired you in some way, shape, or form.
And this protest is a reflection of that. This protest is like, yo, these lives matter to me. They matter to me growing up. They matter to me now. And maybe it's time that we do something. And I think a lot of people at these protests do not know what the fuck to do. But they know that they want something to be done. And
just show up.
Yo, but here's the thing. At eventually, somebody's going to need to be the tip of the spear, and somebody's going to need to decide where that spear goes. And I hope that happens sooner or later before too many people co-opt the shit and like make it about themselves.
I think it's happening. I think you have too many grassroots organizations out there right now that have things on the table. Because it's starting with two things, right? It started a couple years ago when we all started asking for a black agenda, because we're not going to act like police reform, criminal justice reform, all these things weren't in the black agenda. It's not like cops just started killing black people this last month, right? Yeah. So all of this stuff has been going on. But now it just shows the urgency for it. Coronavirus showed the urgency for it because of all the underlying conditions in the black community left the black community so vulnerable, right? Police brutality. Like, it just shows the urgency for why you need police reform right now. And let's be for real, it's a fucking election year. The Democrats need black people. So it shows the urgency of why they need to be out here doing something for black folks. And I'm going to tell y'all something else. There's no police reform getting passed in no time soon. This shit is going to be on the table until well after November. Okay? And depending on who wins in November, it's going to be off the table altogether. All right? I'm letting y'all know that right now. Don't think for 1 second that the House Democrats are going to get their Justice for Policing Act bill passed anytime soon. Don't think that Tim Scott is going to get whatever his bill is called. I think his bill is named after Walter Scott, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. But don't think that his bill is getting passed anytime soon. There is no major police reform happening anytime soon. This shit is going to be a talking point up until November. Because let's be for real, Democrats had no other win. that they had no other win. The things that we were trying to get them to lean into was blackness. We was trying to get Joe Biden to lean into blackness and black issues and things that affect the black community. Now it's everybody's issue, so you don't even look like you're a leader. You don't even look like you're a leader on it. Now it looks like you're just following the trend, and you can't even do that right.
Yeah.
Because they ask him a simple question like, do you want to defund the police? He's like, nope, I don't believe in defunding the police. In fact, we need to give police $300 extra million to reform the police and this and that. I'm like, yo, can y'all word this better for the old man, please?
Yeah.
Could you word it better for him? God damn, can he answer it like Senator Harris answered it for her when she bodied it? Yes, you would love to take resources from this place and put them into this place. We have to go build up these communities because when you build up these communities, it will help decrease crime altogether. Like, yes.
Yeah.
Why you can't answer that no better, Joe Biden? So all I'm simply saying is, I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying. I lost my train of thought. That's why
it's
nobody
not
should
coming
even
back.
listen to me.
Police reform isn't coming back. That's where you're
Oh yeah, police reform is not. It's going to be on the table well after November. Oh, and that's the other point. I feel like I don't want everything else black people have been asking for. At least me, meaning like a black woman running mate. He already committed to putting a black woman on the Supreme Court. A real comprehensive black agenda. Because I feel like you can't atone for the sins of America in regards to black people without legislation and reparations. I don't want any of that to get lost because now people are focused on this cause because it almost makes Democrats be able to tell black people to go out there and have a sense of urgency when it comes to voting because of just the police reform issue, as opposed to all the other issues that we need. You know what I'm saying? Police reform is major. Don't get me wrong. It's a major, 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 major issue, but it allows them to not acknowledge everything else. You know what I'm saying? That one chip allows them to not have to acknowledge everything else. And I want everything acknowledged because even if you're talking about defunding the police, that's what you're talking about doing. Taking money from them to put back into our communities. That's what that whole economic justice plan, that's what that whole equity plan, that's what all of that is about when it comes to the black community. So let's keep all of that on the table too, God damn it. Okay? Let's not lose sight of that. I also want to salute Amanda Seales. Positively brilliant, even though we're past positively brilliant, because that was kind of like the deep dive. I want to just say it's positively brilliant that BET decided to have Amanda Seales host the BET Awards this year. I really wish that it wasn't virtual because I don't think y'all realize how much of a beast Amanda Seales is on stage. And I think that you need to go watch a Smart, Funny, and Black show. Go watch her host Smart, Funny, and Black, the game show she does. And you can see how good she is on that stage. Singing, dancing, jokes, crowd participation. She's perfect to host an event like the BET Awards. So, I wish it wasn't virtual, and I know she'll get the opportunity to host it, on stage in front of people in a real way one day. But I am so happy that freaking the BET Awards picked her to be the host. That shows me that they're paying attention because also if you're doing a virtual awards, if the awards are virtual this year, she's one of the biggest virtual voices out there. You know what I mean? So it makes sense. It makes sense to have her, be the host this year because she does Smart, Funny, and Black online. She's got one this Friday. With Kareem Hardison and God damn it. Hold on. I need to get my black card revoked for not knowing who the fuck. God damn it.
Kareem Harden, you said?
Kareem Hardison from a different world. I need my black card revoked. I'm telling you. I need it taken away from me. This isn't right. Yes, Kadeem Hardison and Daryl M. Bell. What the fuck is wrong with me? Kadeem Hardison and Daryl M. Bell. Remember on the different world? They was on a different world together.
No.
Dwayne Wayne and his best friend.
I don't.
Did you watch?
Yeah, I like Dwayne Wayne.
Yeah, Dwayne Wayne and his best friend.
Yo, do you have a butthole?
Excuse me?
Darla, do you have a butthole?
Yeah, I got a butthole.
Well, then this ad is for you.
Talk to me.
Breaking news. The biggest scam rocking the nation is toilet paper. If you got poo on your arm, would you wipe it off with dry paper or would you wash it with water, Charlamagne? Which one?
That bidet, baby.
That bidet?
That bidet fire.
Oh,
you don't know what it feels like to get that water squirted up your ass.
Oh, it's the best, isn't it?
It's the best, man. Fuck all
Spread
that. It's really
lips,
the best. And then when you let that water hit your ass and then you wipe it and it's like nothing on the toilet tissue. Grade A.
It's just
ready for
amazing.
the world.
It's absolutely amazing. And for years, bidets have been available, but you know what? They've been hideously expensive, causing thousands of dollars, okay? The Hello Tushy modern bidet attachment is here to democratize the blessing bestowed by bidets and offer clean buttholes to everyone. Hello Tushy cleans your butt with a precise stream of fresh water for $79. That's it. It's an attachment. You don't have to buy a whole new toilet. You attach it to your existing toilet, okay? Save all that money on toilet paper. You know there's no toilet paper available during a pandemic. Well, you don't need it. You can go bidet and then air dry if you want, okay? Spend some time on your phone, texting, let that booty hole dry, and then take on the day. So what you do, okay, is you go right now, Hello Tushy bidet attachment. It comes with 60-day risk-free guarantee and 12-month warranty. Join millions of happy Hello Tushy customers right now and have a clean butt with every flush. Go to HelloTushy.com. That's HelloTushy.com/idiots. You get 10% off. There's a special offer for our listeners only. So go to HelloTushy.com/idiots, 10% off. Let's get back to the show.
Do we have any church announcements?
The announcements are a very important part of what we do in church.
Oh, yo, I'm back on the road.
I'm back on the road.
Let's go at theandrewschulz.com. End of the month, I'll be in Kansas City, Missouri. Then we got a bunch more dates coming as well. So just go to theandrewschulz.com and a lot of those rescheduled dates that we had to cancel earlier in the year are popping up as well. Go to my website, theandrewschulz.com. Kansas City. It's limited room in these comedy clubs and theaters, so make sure you just go get them tickets early. Again, theandrewschulz.com. Kansas City Improv, I believe. It's Kansas City Improv in Kansas City, Missouri. I'll see you at the end of the month. All right?
All right, shit you won't care about next week. Dave Chappelle comedy special, 8:46. I wouldn't call it a comedy special. And the reason I wouldn't call it a comedy special is because I don't think Dave was trying to be funny. I think that Dave wanted to vent. I think that Dave had some things that he wanted to get off his chest. He's not a social media user, so he's not on Instagram Live.
Right.
He's not a huge interview guy. Like he'll do interviews, but he doesn't do them all the time. So he wasn't promoting anything. So he wasn't sitting down with anybody to have an interview.
Right.
He's not a podcast host, so he doesn't have a podcast. I think that Dave Chappelle wanted to get some shit off his chest, and he went to his platform. And his platform is that motherfucking stage.
Yep.
In his backyard. I'm assuming that was in Ohio, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. So he was home in his backyard, and he gathered some of his people around, and he had a nice social distanced show. And I think he wanted to get some shit off his chest for 27 minutes. That's how I looked at it. You know what I mean? I wasn't sitting back like, oh my God, that was brilliant, because I know I've seen Dave Chappelle be brilliant. You know what I mean? But I think that the whole context of what he presented to people, I thought that was brilliant. You know what I mean? Because I think it's dope not to run to go do an interview. I think it's dope not to run to go do a podcast. I think it's dope not to get on Instagram and rant. I like the fact that he used his stage. I'm a radio personality. If I got something I really want to get off my chest, I'm on that radio every day. If I'm a comedian and I got some shit I want to get off my chest, even if it's not jokes, even if it's not funny, I'm going to get on that stage. Because you know why? That's what gives it the most impact. I don't think a Dave Chappelle interview, I don't think a Dave Chappelle appearance on a podcast would have had the same impact as it being packaged as a Dave Chappelle comedy special. And I would have called it a Dave Chappelle verbal scream of consciousness. Word to Kanye West. You know what I'm saying? I would have called it a Dave Chappelle. That's what I call it. A Dave Chappelle verbal scream of consciousness. That's what that was to me.
That's a really interesting way to look at it, because in terms of impact, because millions of people saw it online, and maybe they wouldn't have seen it if it was an interview with The Breakfast Club, or if it was an interview with you directly, or if it was an interview with Rogan. Maybe it would have got a lot of views, but maybe not 20 million or whatever it did, or 14, 15 million, et cetera. And we were talking on the phone about this. I think it was a few days ago because it's not a special, so you can't judge it as a special. People going, "Yo, it's not funny." It wasn't supposed to be funny. No. This is the most prolific comedian of alive today, in my opinion. He's the greatest comedian alive. Simple as that. If you thought that this was his attempt to be funny, you're wrong. He knows how to be funny. Easily. He meant to deliver this. Absolutely. That being said, I know how prolific Dave Chappelle is. I know how brilliant he is. I don't think he even needs to make you laugh. He's so fucking smart and so genius in the way that he synthesizes information and crunches into these digestible morsels in a way that you never thought about before. He's literally a genius. I didn't think that there was anything he said that was that profound in it. I'll be honest. Like, I didn't think he was offering new perspective. Like, when I watched it, I wasn't blown away with the thinking based on a Dave Chappelle expectation. Like, to me, when I hear Dave Chappelle talk, I'm like, I'm about to hear some of the most brilliant shit I could have never thought of, because that's how genius he is. And then everything he said, pretty much, maybe outside of like the Chris Dorner connection, everything he said, I think that we've heard a lot of people say. And that's okay too. He's allowed to share those feelings, and we're allowed to be excited by our hero expressing the same feelings we have. That's totally fine. But when I saw people exulting and going, "This was the most genius thing I've ever seen," I was like, have you not seen Dave Chappelle? Because if you've seen Dave Chappelle and you're familiar with his work, you don't think that this is close to as profound as other things he said.
I agree. I think there is something to being able how to capture how people feel.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I think that's what artists do with music sometimes, right? Like, sometimes a record comes out in a moment and it's like, damn, yo, he captured or she captured exactly how I felt. I think the fact that we know Dave is so prolific, the fact that we know Dave can craft some of the, most amazing, thoughts in the world. I think the fact that he was up there so unrefined, the fact that he was so emotional, the fact that he didn't really have the answers, that he didn't have things figured out, that he did seem like it was a state of confusion. I think he captured how people felt. I think that's how a lot of people feel right now. I really do. I think it's almost like it makes you feel better when you see somebody who has it all figured out, not having it figured out. It gives you more space to be like, yeah, I am fucking confused. It gives you more space to be like, yeah, I am fucking angry. You know what I'm saying? It gives you the license to be that even more. I think so. That's
a great way of looking at it. It's like especially with music, because sometimes there's a song that don't have the best lyrics.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have the best beat. It doesn't even have the best production, but it captures how the fuck you feel.
Yeah. And by the way, we in an era right now where we're stripping everything down to the basics. There is nothing refined about this moment. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing refined about this moment. So to see him up there with his notepad and just going, I'm like, yeah, Dave. Like, I mean, honestly, I was highly entertained. You know what I mean? I watched it once. I'm gonna watch it again, but I was when I saw it, I was like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, he captured the way I felt about a lot of things, I mean, because like we've had those conversations. I had that shit about Don Lemon, or even talking about LeBron over exceeding expectations. Like, those are conversations that we were having here,
right?
Yeah. I was shocked. I was shocked at him coming at Candace Owens. Only reason I was shocked is because that's a real Moon barks back at the dog moment. And I'm not calling Candace a dog at all. I'm just saying that there's an analogy that talks about the moon and the dog. And it says when the dog barks at the moon, it's nothing. But when the moon barks back at the dog, it's news. Right?
Yeah.
And so Dave Chappelle, first of all, Candace Owens is unstoppable. Unstoppable. And the reason I know she's unstoppable is because of the way she responded to what Dave Chappelle said. She said to Dave Chappelle, you insert the clip, the Dave clip.
I seen Candace Owens try to convince white America, don't worry about it. He's a criminal anyway. I don't give a fuck what this nigga did. I don't care what this nigga did. I don't care if he personally kicked Candace Owens in her stinky pussy. I don't know if it stinks, but I imagine it does. If I ever find out, I'll let you know for sure. I'll tell like Azealia Banks, I'll tell.
Candace said in a tweet, to every Democrat tweeting me the clip of Dave Chappelle insulting me, I'm not a leftist. I have a sense of humor, and I think comedians should make fun of people. Dave Chappelle is one of the greatest comedians of all time, and I made it into one of his specials. That's power. She's absolutely fucking right.
And then the next one, the follow-up, was even crazier.
I don't have that one. Taylor
He said,
didn't put
say it to my face. He said, say that shit to my face, though.
With a laugh, right?
With a laugh, yeah.
And I don't know why I wrote about this in my book, Shook on Anxiety Playing Tricks on Me. Learn from me, right? Because I told y'all back in the day when I tweeted that stupid ass tweet, when I was like, who are the woke women of color that we can, empower and make a voice like Tommy Lauren, right? When I said that dumb shit, right? Stupid, dumb of me to say, right? Because what I should have said is, who are the women, and left Tommy out of it? Who are the women in this space that we can empower? Because all I was simply saying was, we empower people with our hate. We get online and we talk about how much we don't like these people. And then the people that like them come on defending these folks. And next thing you know, you got this perfect storm of just whoever that person is. And you think you're hurting them, but you're not. So when you're somebody like Candace Owens, who's like a goddamn, she's like black, they got the Black Panther suit on. The more you hit her, she absorbs the energy and she gets stronger and stronger. Dave made her so fucking strong. Can't stop her, bro. The only way.
Go.
No, the only way you can stop a Candace Owens is to ignore her.
Yes.
But guess what? She's too good for you to ignore.
Yeah. She knows how to antagonize,
She
bro.
knows how to antagonize
she
you.
Agitate, bro.
She knows how to agitate you. She knows what to say to get you going.
Yeah.
What's that shit? What Will Ferrell say? I don't know what it is, but it gets the people going.
Oh, yeah.
That's she has that thing. And guess what? She puts it out there and y'all keep giving it back to her. And Dave immortalized her. Straight up. He did.
Yeah. You would like to see Dave, because Dave has the intellect to chop her down. So you would like to see him chop her down. And then he just went with like a kind of easy joke about pussy stinking. Yeah. And yeah, I know the thing with Candace really interesting is because she doesn't have to be worried about being canceled, because the side that's canceling her is not the side that pays her. You only got to be worried about being canceled by the people who pay you.
Yo,
you know what I mean?
The side that's trying to cancel her is doing nothing but promoting her and marketing her.
So she's getting more money from the other side.
Yes, man. And everybody loves a bad guy. So it's just like, people root for the villain. So she's embraced that role. She's a villain to one side, a hero to the other.
Well, she plays a really interesting part in the ecosystem, because she is a character that's been exalted by the right to remove remove any of white people's guilt or responsibility for what's happened to black people in Black America.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's her goal and that's her position. She might truly believe the things that she says, but the people that pay her are using her like a toy. So they're hey, white people don't want to feel bad about the black plight in America. So we're going to give you some facts, and you're going to take these facts and you're going to go tell Black America and white America that this is the real reason why black people are going through this, right? And the reason it's so effective is because the white people on the right that don't want to feel guilty go, oh, phew, it's not my fault. And then the white people on the left can't call her out for her privilege because she's of minority status too. So the white people have to listen to her, or else they're silencing a black woman. So the white people on the left got to take her for her word, not her identity. If I said any of the shit that Candace said, they'd be like, shut up, you're a white male, you don't know shit. But since she's a black woman, they got to sit there patiently and listen. And then if these people on the left are not disciplined in their arguments, she'll eat them the fuck up.
And that's the thing, right? What you said about Dave Chappelle, like Dave Chappelle's an intellect, he's articulate. Like he could break the Candace Owens thing down in a much more like scientific way, right?
Yeah.
when you hit her with the steak pussy thing, her audience is like, that's the best you got for Candace?
Yep.
Because even if you don't agree with the things that she's saying, which, you know, like if you don't agree with the things that she's saying, you can't deny that she still has some thought behind it. She's giving it some thought, whether her facts are wrong, whether she's dead wrong. She's giving some thought to it, and she's able to articulate it in an intellectually sounding way.
Republicans and right-wing people will always have more sound arguments because they're arguing in a lot of times against progress. Okay? So they'll always have more sound arguments because the thing they're arguing is harder. If you're saying affirmative action shouldn't happen, right? You better have some good fucking arguments as to why it shouldn't happen.
I think that you
do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Whereas
I think it's
left,
like facts. It's facts versus feelings sometimes.
Exactly.
But
go.
If I'm a black person in America, if you're a white privileged person, you would never know how I feel. If you're a gay person,
100%.
if you're any person that's ever been oppressed, marginalized, woman, gay, black, I don't care how many facts you as a white privileged man spit at me. You can't tell me how the fuck I feel, because whether it's statistically or just my everyday life, I know what it is I go through.
But here's the thing. What they do is they get someone that looks just like you to tell you how you feel.
They tell me that I'm bugging.
Exactly, and that's why they got the black sheriff from Wisconsin or wherever he's from.
I forget, David Clark.
Whatever.
I think
so they'll get some guy that looks like you to tell you you're wrong, right?
You know, he don't fuck with the right no more.
Say again?
He don't really fuck with the right no more.
Look, I don't know where he is, but I understand. And again, I'm not saying these people are lying or insincere or inauthentic. What I'm saying is the people that promote them have a reason for promoting them.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Oh, listen, I had somebody tell me verbatim, I'm not going to put the executive's name out there.
Slide your computer a little bit that way so you're in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah, that's better.
I'm not going to put the executive's name out there, but I had somebody tell me that at Fox News, they will tell a black personality, I'll make you a star.
Oh, yeah.
If you're willing to go MAGA. If you're willing to go MAGA, I'll make you a star. So,
dude,
a lot of these people just doing it for profit.
So 100%, 100%, because they need the voices to quiet, right? And the Democrats do this too, but they don't do it with people of color. The Democrats do it with kids.
Explain.
So if there's an issue that's important to Democrats, they let kids argue it. For example, the environment is really important to Democrats. Who's the big environmentalist person?
Leonardo DiCaprio?
Nope. Well, Greta Thunberg.
Oh.
Right? Gun rights.
I don't know who that is.
Greta Thunberg is that Swedish chick that they sail all around the world, and she's super like, we got to take care of the environment, right?
Okay.
Anti-gun people, Democrats are very anti-gun. Who makes all the arguments for anti-gun stuff?
The kids from Parkland.
The Parkland kids. You have kids make your arguments because the philosophy is, if you're telling a kid to shut up, then you're an asshole. So you're not going to look at the kid and tell them to shut up, especially if they're an actual victim of gun violence, right? Now, if you're a right-wing dude telling a kid to shut up, we're like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you? How rude are you? You're a piece of shit. You always want to put the figure out there. It's a proxy war, right? You always want to put the figure out there that can't be argued effectively or shut down effectively by the other side.
Well, I wonder, let's dissect that a little bit, right? I wonder if I don't think that's by design. I think that every movement or every bit of change that has ever happened in this country has been led by young people. You know what I'm saying? And when you have the Parkland shooters who have been through what they've been through, they adopt that cause. There's not a movement in America that wasn't led by the youth.
Martin Luther King wasn't young though. Like,
yes,
Malcolm
he was.
Nah, he wasn't a kid.
He was young as fuck. Martin Luther King died at what, 39?
Son, that's not. Parkland kids are 16 years old. There's a difference between 16 and 39.
Not now. Parkland kids got to be in their 20s, probably older.
Yeah, but they started becoming activists post Parkland when they were still in high school.
And Martin started young. That's what I'm saying. Let me see how old Martin was.
He was 39 when he died. Yeah,
he was 39 when he died. So that's.
But he started when like 25 or so. Like,
no, he was younger than that.
Even younger.
There's a difference between being 25 years old and being a minor. And if you're using minors and please poke holes, by the way, but if you're using minors to push out, the narrative or your agenda, you're doing it on purpose. You think that there's value in it. You think that this messaging can get across way better and way more effectively with younger people because less people will scrutinize them. They'll be like, oh, well, here's a well-intentioned kid trying to make change in the world. Instead of if you're 25 years old, they're like, well, your arguments aren't actually that sound and you're actually not making sense.
Yeah, they said he started around 1955. Somebody do the math. But yeah, I mean, listen, I don't disagree with you. I just think that a lot of these movements are started by the youth. So
Right.
I really don't think Democrats be having a choice. You know what I'm saying? I think that when you're a progressive and you're leaning towards the left, especially when they say that they went too far left, that's what these kids want. These kids want radical fucking change, and they don't feel like the moderates, Joe Bidens and Amy Klobuchar's, even the President Obama's, are giving it to them.
You know what's funny is that like the Democrat Party is the party of progress, is the party of change, is the party of youth. But every time I see Democrats, they're 100 years old. Nancy Pelosi
disgusting.
is 200 years old. Chuck Schumer is
disgusting.
100 years old. Joe
It's
Biden is
disgusting.
1,000 years old. So it's like,
disgusting.
how are you the party of progress and change? Are you really
It's
the party of
disgusting.
progress and change? Or are you the party that likes to sell the idea of
It's disgusting.
progress and change?
No, it's disgusting. It's disgusting simply because after President Obama, the Democratic Party was supposed to get younger, blacker, browner, more diverse when it comes to gender. Like, yes, like I am highly upset that we didn't get a woman president. Even if it was Hillary Clinton, I don't give a fuck. I just think that would have really shown how America was progressing. But boy, that black president scared the shit. Don't think for one second that black president didn't scare the shit out of both sides. All right, it wasn't
Both
just
sides?
yes, hell yes. It was like, man, fuck that. Who is the oldest candidates we got? Run them, right? Run them, run those old horses, goddammit. Joe, get Joe the fuck out of there, okay? Get Joe the fuck out there and get him going. We got to get old Joe going. We need old and white as the standard bearer in America.
Yeah.
All right? Fuck that. All right, let me see. What else did I want to talk about?
Yeah, we paid a little bills right here.
We got another mid-roll? Okay.
All right, we can take a break for a second. Pay some bills. Charlotte, you got your hair coming in, right?
You see me.
Look at that. Oh,
You see me at Monistat,
Okay.
at Monistat 7 in Jamaican castor oil Tiffany Haddish told me to use. We out here.
Yeah, see, what you need to do is get that Hims, bro. You got to get that Hims. You got to go to 4hims.com if you want that full head of hair. That's FORHIMS.com. You can start out with a free online visit. You go to 4hims.com. Now, listen, they have prescription products that are subject to doctor approval and they require an online consultation. But I'm telling you, you want that full head of hair. This works. I've been on the same active ingredients that's in Hims for probably a decade right now. You see me, I got a beautiful full head of hair. And let's be honest, ladies are shallow. Okay. Are you not? You like a full head of hair in your men? You do. Listen, it's okay. Okay. We like a full titty of titty. You know what I'm saying? We like that as well. So you got to go to 4Hims, guys. It's the number one cause of aging, to be honest, in men. If a guy has a full head of hair, you're like, yo, he's aging well. And if he doesn't have a full head of hair, you're like, yo, he's aging poorly. So just go to 4hims.com, FORHIMS.com/idiots. Okay? You do that. You go to 4hims.com/idiots and you get that trial. All right. You see the website for full details, safety information. This could cost $100 if you went to the person or a doctor's office or a pharmacy, but it doesn't because you're going to 4hims.com/idiots. Go get that right on now. And you can try it with a free online visit. Remember that. You could start it out with a free online visit, 4hims.com/idiots. Go check that out. Let's get back to the show.
Yeah, I guess we can end. I guess we can do Ask an Idiot. You want to do Ask an Idiot?
Yeah.
Let's do
Because we
Ask an
kind of
Idiot.
did the deep dive already, huh?
Yeah, Taylor, you got any Asking Idiots?
Yeah. You guys didn't want to talk about like T-Mobile going out or Chris Rock with the braids? Nothing.
No.
Okay.
We don't.
Or the B. Simone? No. Okay.
No.
All right.
Nah.
Well.
Why don't we talk?
For-
Why don't we do Ask an Idiot?
Okay. So for Ask an Idiot, this goes to Casper's Revenge. What's the most disgusting thing you've learned about Hollywood?
The most disgusting thing that you've learned about Hollywood. That's interesting, Charlotte.
That's a good question. I mean, honestly, I haven't
Yeah.
I haven't learned anything disgusting unless you want to call the fact that you just have a bunch of culturally clueless people in these executive positions. That's pretty disgusting. You know what I mean? But I don't even give a fuck about that anymore because everybody is taking their destiny in their own hands. You know what I mean? Like I love, and I'm on record. I love what Andrew Schulz does. I love what Amanda Seales does. I love what Lil Duval does. I love, seeing people make their own independent films and movies. I love what The Read has built with their podcast. Like, there is nothing that you can't create on your motherfucking own. And then guess what happens? These companies want to do JVs, meaning joint ventures. Okay. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with doing that joint venture. But when you do a joint venture, you're an owner now. You know what I'm saying? You got equity in your shit. You're a boss. You at the table as a CEO and a founder. So I don't, think anything is disgusting about Hollywood other than the fact that they just have a bunch of culturally clueless people in these boardrooms. I haven't seen all of the stuff that YouTube and Worldstar have been telling me for years. I haven't seen no goats get sacrificed. I haven't seen anybody eat a baby sandwich. Okay. I haven't seen anybody had to bust their asshole open for a roll. You know what I mean? I haven't seen any of that, those Illuminati rituals y'all have talked about. So,
I think he said it perfectly, man. Nothing I can say to top that. Absolutely.
This goes for both of you guys too. For IZ the King, what is your greatest mistake?
Ooh, that's an interesting one. What is your greatest mistake? Charla, what is your greatest mistake? Career-wise, life-wise?
I've made so many of them. I don't know which one is my greatest. I do like that phrasing though. I like the phrasing of greatest mistakes because I don't like to say what are my worst mistakes. I like to say greatest mistakes because I really do feel like mistakes make you greater.
Yeah.
So I think when you make great mistakes, you become a greater person. You become a greater individual. It just teaches you how to bounce back from certain things, or you learn from certain mistakes, and it just makes you a better person. So I welcome all my mistakes, all of them. I embrace them actually.
Yeah, it's a really tricky question because like if you accept that good and bad things happen and that they're not necessarily good or bad, this is just life and that's just what this is, what it is. It's what you do about those mistakes. And I'm happy where I am. So all those mistakes led me to this point right here. And I'm happy where I am right here. So it's hard for me to go, man, I wish I didn't do that because if I didn't do that, maybe I wouldn't be here.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's really tough. There's a difference between, we were talking about this. We were breaking this down. Al, remember we were having that conversation? It was like a difference between like regret and, there's another word that's kind of like regret. Like, remorse, regret and remorse, where it's like, if you're not happy where you are in life, you have regrets. If you are happy where you are, you have like maybe like remorse or like embarrassment. You're like, that was really embarrassing that I did that, but for whatever reason I got here and I'm really happy here, so I don't have regrets. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't
I'm
have.
Just
yeah, I'm with
this
you.
whole
No. You're absolutely right. I don't have regrets. I do have remorse. Meaning, like, I have remorse just for being successful because so many people from where I'm from aren't.
Yeah, you feel guilty.
Yeah,
about
so many people that I grew up with, so many people that I love, they're not. So it's like for me, like I do have that survivor's remorse. Shit, I got remorse now. Over Jazz Fly. You know what I mean? I was listening to Bishop T.D. Jakes. I was watching Bishop T.D. Jakes this weekend, man, and he wasn't even talking about death. And he had this bar that kind of just put me in a better place. Play that clip, Taylor. I want you to insert this clip.
Perhaps we will go no further. Perhaps we will not make the journey. Perhaps we will not go on. Because the secret of mourning is this. Whenever people are weeping, always remember, they think they are weeping for who they lost. But in reality, they are weeping for themselves. There's a part of mourning that is laced with self-pity. Why could you do this to me? Why did you take her away from me? Why did you let this happen to me? Mourning always is laced with self-pity. It has a tinge of selfishness. And if you want to pull it out by the root, you have to recognize that part of our weeping is for ourselves and not for who we lost. Because in many, many cases, who we lost is through with suffering and agony and pain. And we wanted them to stay with us, even if it hurt them. And then they left us and we are mourning.
But basically, he was just saying how when you're mourning over somebody, a lot of it is self-pity with a tinge of selfishness. Because you're saying, why would that person leave me? You know, or why would that person, I don't know if he said do that to me, but it basically
You're
was
making
like,
it about yourself.
It's making it about
Yes.
you, right? But the reality is that person is not in pain anymore. You know what I'm saying? The reality is that person is in a better place. You know, whatever hurt that person was experiencing, that person is not feeling that anymore. As far as we know. As far as we know, right? So, yeah, like, you know, so yes, that's that. You have that. You have that remorse. Like, you know, especially when somebody is dealing with something that's out of their control.
Yeah. I think that makes sense. I think that makes sense. It's like you still feel remorse. You still feel embarrassment over things. But if you're happy where you are, it's hard for you to feel regret because you know that those events in a weird way led you here.
Absolutely. 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 Rest in peace, Jazz. To her funeral is her service is on her going away service is June 27th. That's actually my daughter's born day. My oldest daughter's born day. So her homegoing service is June 27th. Salute to her mother and her father and her sister and her brother. Last week was rough. The weekend was rough. I didn't get any good sleep until Monday night. Monday night and last night I slept well. Friday, I didn't even get up to go to Breakfast Club. Friday, I was like, man, fuck this shit. I canceled everything. I was supposed to do a one-on-one interview with somebody Friday. I canceled that. I was supposed to do Aaron Burnett CNN Friday. I canceled that. Like, I didn't want to do nothing this weekend. Like, I was really, 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 really out of it. And this weekend I feel a little bit better, you know? Like talking to her mom and talking to her dad, you know, and you know, they of course they got their ups and they got their downs, but when they feel good, it makes me feel a little bit better. But just what Bishop T.D. Jakes said Sunday, it really hit home because, you know, Jasmine was dealing with something that was totally out of her control. And it's nothing you can do about that. You know, when
not on you.
Like I said it's not on you. Like I said last week on the podcast, when your brain is your greatest gift and it can also be your greatest curse.
Yeah.
And when that goes out of whack,
tough.
Ain't no blowing on it like a Nintendo cartridge and getting it back the way it needs to be.
Ain't that a fact? So take care of your brains, everybody, man. Maybe that's a good place to wrap this up.
Yeah. Invest in your mental goddamn wealth. Rest in peace, Jasmine Waters.
R.I.P.
Yeah, that's it, man.
All right, brother. Take us out, man.
Yo. As always, if you listen to this podcast and you think we're smart, you think we're intelligent, you think we're brilliant, you're absolutely right. If you think we're just a couple idiots who don't know shit, you're right too. It's the Brilliant Idiots Podcast. Thank you for listening.
Peace.